think that I just come in there and look for knockouts, and that's not the case. I'm actually a sharp, smart fighter.
So, what happened? I'm here. Who want to fight with me?
I really don't care who's in front of me. I don't feel like no fighter can beat me.
Demolish everybody, to be honest. Everybody that's in my way. The pinnacle to any weight division is to have all the belts, all of the titles.
Welcome to Bodywork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. It feels so good to be back. How y'all doing out there? Hope everybody is doing quite all right. Cookie Monster. Bodywork. Salute Cookie Monster. I appreciate you for always being the first one in the building. That don't go unnoticed. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Sounding wonderful. That's good. You know, I'll be needing the mic checks. I appreciate you. But I'm not sure if the notifications went out. I know it's real funny. I set the alert for this, man. All of a sudden, I'm going online. All these people online at this time. I'm like, man, this 9:15, like, or slightly before, man. This is a very popular timeline right now. It's a hot time slot. But you know what I said, man? I gotta give it all I got. Give it all I got, and I'm not gonna stop. Because normally when I would want to take a break, and I'm not saying I'm taking a break, but like taking a little more passive approach right now, because I'm still sifting. You know what I'm saying? My homie, he's still sifting through what's going on with this sport that we just can't get enough of. Like this abusive relationship of a sport where it give us what we want every now and again. We can't leave it. We stuck, we love it, we gonna watch it. Well, you know what I'm saying? We care about it, we gonna talk about it. We gonna argue and debate and be ready to pull up, you know, and do a lot of things, man. And these boxers don't even get in the ring. Yikes. So we've been sitting here sifting through information, and I was thinking about, you know, doing something and culminating, but like day by day, more and more tidbits and jewels are dropping by a lot of the things we've been touching on, man. And trying not to be jerk reactionists, we said we just gonna scope the scene and peep the scene and get a couple things answered. Salute Bodywork. Salute Honeybee. They salute the chat. Salute to the chat. The 300. But very peculiar time in boxing because one, it's a niche market. It's a niche market. Like just anybody can't hop in, and this is a marathon. It's not a race. So a lot of people that, you know, jump out there, and because it's so rough, and it kind of and you know, you got to stay abreast of all the information, and the way you have to portray yourself, you got to sell yourself. Speaking of the meat and potatoes of today's conversation, like you really got to sell yourself. And I'm not gonna say it hadn't dawned on me, but I never looked at it. Like when I look at all the people that's out and, you know, major or whatever, they either previously accomplished somehow in the sport, or they've turned themselves into character, where they flip and they flop. They say one thing this week, say something next week. They say something post fight, say something else, post fight. It's like one thing they have to do is they have to adapt with the times. And I noticed that. I'm like, man, it's just like politics, you know what I'm saying? Which I know a lot about, but I try to keep it all boxing here. But just like politics, it's like people say one thing when they're campaigning for something and getting you to buy into whatever it is and support or whatever, and then as soon as they got you, they do the old switcheroony, or they pander, depending on the signs of the times, which age-old trick. But just like when people conquered lands or whatever, you couldn't just take away all them holidays. You could just take away all them celebrations that was going on for hundreds of years. So what you do? You alter the celebration. You still do the same events. You might use some of the same colors. You just change the name, and you continue to do the same thing. And ultimately, you wind up doing the same thing that everybody who came and went before you did. That's what they do online today. And I want y'all to just, vibe out, man, and just, I want to have real conversations in boxing, man. We talking about the vitality. We talking about putting all these things and all these elements of the sport of boxing on the scale and weighing it, like evaluating it just for what it is, not being salacious, not being messy. Raise your hand if you notice that controversy sells. So the people that come out there, they have to be the most controversial. Now, when you have credentials, like being a Hall of Famer, it's like you don't have to do that. Like when you should be using your powers for good, you use it for things that are not so good, like picking and choosing fighters that you want to like endorse or celebrate or whatever, like even on your promotional label. It's like there's a lot of things, and I believe that when people put people on a pedestal, like along with that, just like in anything, like even in politics, you get elected to a spot, you get a position, it comes with a certain level of responsibility. Because you get the benefit of the doubt, people gonna tune in, people want to shake your hand, people salute what you were able to do in the ring. It's just like, why now turn into something, and why, like, that's like, if it's not about the money, is it the attention needle? Because I recall that when I was saying relevancy is the new drug, I'm starting to question whether or not controversy is the new drug. Yeah. And it's been around. Just like all the other drugs, like when new ones come on the scene, like, no, it's been around. Controversy, it's been on the scene. In the gangster lane. But I think Tim is just now, like not just now, but I think in this last year, maybe 2 years, he's learned that he do have a voice, and I just be I don't know, man, maybe it's me. It's maybe the way I look at things. You can say, hey, why are you judging and all this? All I'm doing is what everybody do when they analyze what people say, when they look at people's behavior. And if people are out here, like Hall of Famers are out here setting the standard for certain things, you expect certain things. Like, you have a voice for a reason. It's just like when anybody retire from basketball, like, people gonna want to hear what LeBron, like when he hang him up and he's sitting around, they gonna want to know what he got to say about the sport and what's going on, and whether he gonna keep it a buck or he gonna, buck dance. We can probably draw a conclusion as to what he's going to do depending on what he sets out to achieve. But being salacious should never be at the top of these things. For me, like, just be like, people respect you. You was in there with Pac. You got the respect. You was in the Hall of Fame. Like, you did your thing. The Teddy Atlas speech, the fireman, like, history books for sure. It's like I question why. I'm like, man, like the people look up to people. Like you still look up to people like to be pillars in the sport or whatever. And it's like with the way sport is going and some of the things that they condone and advocate, it's like, do you really care about the sport? And that's what I noticed about these major content creators, which was what I was getting at. Like sometimes I question at the harder things, like even in politics, like you question, like, do you even care about what's really going on, or is it just as long as you can thrive and maintain a level of stability? Like, is that what it's all about? Is it all game and it's just really a thing where we just saying and doing whatever we got to do to survive, or are we gonna be honest? Like, if you just be honest and just look at the sport and the direction it's going, then you listen to everybody that's talking about it. You like, dang, how is boxing gonna look in the next 5 years? What is going to happen? So you go to certain people, especially when they have credentials. And it's not my fault I never laced them up. I just never laced them up. I was playing football. I just happen to love boxing. And my opinion may not matter. But when I can point out factual information and trends, hashtag boxing trends, and then they start trending, that means I'm on to something. And I've been looking at Tim. I've given him his salutes when he deserved them. I've given my fair share of criticism, and I expected more from Tim, man. Like family, man. Like he done it. No, I've never heard any off like out of the ring drama or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Like a commentator, some of the things he was saying when I liked the fighter that he was commentating on and he liked them, it was cool. But like when it was somebody like Jahai where he was just tearing their style apart and not big up in them, and then the way he used to do Brian Norman, I'm like, listen, dude, you work for the company. How come you not putting the shield over all these guys and painting all these guys in the light? You of all people would know what it takes in this sport when you get hit in the head for a living, what it takes to make it, especially the background that these guys come from, like the things he said about Tank. He got this crazy love-hate thing with Tank. We'll come out and tell the truth, but he'll spend following the same narrative as everybody else, not looking at the facts for an analyst. So for me, being an analyst of some sorts in my own little way in this sport that I love, when I be crunching numbers and doing that, as an analyst, you gotta be like more grounded in facts, numbers, firm track records and things like that. But to ignore history and real facts about certain fighters and choose to use your voice to like pull down or diminish and talk about things. So if you talk about some personal stuff, some personal life, why be so vocal about it if you don't know all the facts? But you're just hopping or defaulting to the negative. And you do that with certain fighters. So when I hear certain things as a hardcore, the hardcore in me get triggered. I'm like, hold on, man. Yes, Tim, I concede to your opinion when it comes to the X's and O's. Okay, cool. But like in some general boxing talk, that whole, oh, you never laced them up, you never did, you never blah, 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 man. There's a lot of people that talk about all different kind of sports and they sports junkies. And we don't discount what they say because they never threw a football or whatever. There's lanes and different things for people like that. And the only thing I can really compare it to is like Joe Budden. When Joe Budden started doing his podcast thing, I used to like Joe Budden. Like Joe Budden when it was in his bag, like people didn't like the fact that he went up against Jay. But when he transitioned over into that space and he started talking, people had their criticism of how he was doing. They knew when Joe Budden had an agenda, but then they know that Joe Budden, he just gonna be him. Like the real Joe Budden will stand up. It's just, you just gotta like wait for it. And then either he survives it and he grows and he keeps going or whatever, but he learned from his mistakes and all that. It's the same thing for these guys that used to, you know what I'm saying, box. They coming out. It's going to be the same thing for Keith Thurman and all these guys. I got high hopes for Keith Thurman. I got high hopes for him after he hang him up as a commentator, man. I'm going to be looking forward to what he got to say. Just like I used to be really excited about the things Andre Ward had to say. Then I start seeing the biases and the friendships and the conflicts of interest. So I was watching, I was doing my research. Cause me and AC said we just gonna kick back and do the research on the thing that we really want to like elaborate. Cause we've been following the bouncing ball all along, and you know what I'm saying, just reporting on it as it folds out, and it's aging like fine wine. So we said we was going to not talk about those things, and I was just catching up on everything that I needed and confirming, getting answers to my questions, looking at videos. I saw the Ray Ford one, and what's going on, and what we're starting to be aroused, if you allow me to say, in the area of him and Oshaki. And I'm just like, man, the media, oh my goodness, like this extended family network plan. I'm like, do we look at resumes? Do we consider all these things before people out here talk about Oshaki is ducking Raymond Ford? Oh my gosh. But didn't attend the class in what the fuck is a duck, because they can't explain. I don't know. I'm about to whoop your pops ass. And I said, hey son, go sit down. This is between me and pops. You know what I'm saying? Go have a seat. And you get in the way, you had to be spanked. But my resume says that I do this, like, and it's more like the caliber of fighters. And people gotta not forget, we gotta not be so fixed on the names. I'm talking about the caliber of fighters when they're highly ranked and all of that. We gotta include that. Some of them have been bought and paid for. Some people get shots at championships, an opportunity that other people don't get, based on their social media following, how many butts they can put in seats, all of that. But credentials don't matter when it comes to certain people. So now it's this thing where, because he who controls the printed page controls the thinking of this age, the people that are chirping about these things are starting to try to paint this picture as if Oshaki Foster is ducking Raymond Ford. And Raymond Ford was one of my guys in my boxes to watch. I called him the Cobra. Like, when he was letting his hands go and showing his speed and being aggressive, man, he was looking like he had a lot of promise. And then I'm just like, hey, the Nick Ball thing happened. I can't make no excuse. I mean, it happened. Like, a lot of boxers have a little slip up. But then since then, what has happened? Oshaki has been making a lot of waves, no pun intended. Ice water. This last thing that he did, BTA to Fulton, and then how he been pursuing Shakur, that's everything we want. So how do we default to all of a sudden he's ducking Ray Ford? Factually tell me this. Don't just get all in your emotions. Smokey? Talk to me. But everybody's scared to talk about it. So I was doing that. I was looking at some other things. I'm not going to talk about it because me and AC going to cook on it. But I've been catching up, man. We've been trying to figure out what's really going on with the sport, man, and really saying, okay, where's this thing going? And is this some kind of big picture? And slowly but surely, how they say, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, PBC it's coming up out of the proverbial ashes right now. Like, it's so much on the slate, and it's so much in boxing. The Void, the Tank left, the Earl, all that. Like, man, as these fights come up and the way the conversation is going to change and how people still going to profess their hate and gang bang for their promotional companies and things, it's going to be great. We just got to wait. So I'm excited about that. I want my man Earl. I want to be able to do content on Earl, but listen, I'm not one of them people that just make up and fabricate content out of the thin air when nothing is going on with the fighter. And you gotta be careful with all these people with these inside sources where they leaking stuff, because it's like they trying to gain something, or sometimes they trying to mislead, or sometimes somebody might fly old felonious kite out there with some old felonious messages and things on there just to see because you're not the only one. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. So maybe sometimes they be like, when they say, hey man, keep this close to the vest or whatever, they want to see which one of these loose lips gonna sink ships? I have no inside sources. However, we've been dangerously accurate on calling the sport and things that happen and things that's going to look. It's trending. Just Google. Look at the hashtag. Look at the title. Look at the videos and look and just do your research. We try to be on it in real time. But I gotta let it breathe. We gotta let information, qualify itself and not be knee-jerk reactionist, but like no inside sources, just common sense and looking at behaviors and listening to what they saying. But above that, what we gotta do, cause listen, they say something, but above that is what they do and how they move. I ain't gonna charge you nothing for that. Above what they say is what they do and how they move. Easily baked. Bodywork. Salute Easily Baked. But yeah, that's my little introduction, man. That's just, without saying too much about what we're gonna really get into and break down tomorrow. Those are some things that's been on my mind with boxing, and I want to have a real conversation. I know there's a lot of people that I like a lot of different channels, but only when they talk about certain things. Like I like when this channel talk about this one thing or this one boxer because they be on. It's no real bias. It's legit. But like all of them talking about everybody, it's like nah. With the McDonald mix and all of that. So I always say, man, listen to everybody. Support who you like. Support who you like. Listen to what they say. Come over here and hear an alternative to what everybody's saying. Some of it is in line with what people are saying, but some of it is more like, nah, I wouldn't hold my breath. And we see it a slightly different way, a different perspective. That's what I always say, man. That's why I call it fruits and veggies. And I want to say before I actually do this, I want to say, man, I respect Tim Bradley. I just expect more from Tim Bradley. And I don't understand why you got to be so controversial. Like, did you really sell out? Like, are you really what are you trying to do? You trying to get up there with Max? You above Max Kellerman and them. You got more power than all them guys. Malik Scott was a boxer. Now he a trainer, but he's not a Hall of Famer. Like you got all of the guys. I don't know what is it because if it's the money, I get it. Everybody's going for a bag or whatever. Like, so I understand. That would make me understand why you're doing it. I couldn't do it, especially when I got those kind of credentials. So I want to say I respect the dude. You know what I'm saying? I respect the man, and I do give my salutes when they're due. Because sometimes he came out like one time, and I got a video to show it. He came out and he said that his man's was ducking. Came out and said it. I got his words, just like I'm gonna do tonight. His words to show and prove. That's why I would say, don't take my word, take their words. We're just putting a stake in the ground so that in the future we can come back and say, listen, remember the time I told you you owe me one? These are the times when I can be like, hey man, remember the time I told you you owe me one because I put you in the pocket. I told you what was going on. We tried to tell you about this Boots and Virgil stuff 4 months ago. The whole quarter. But I just wanted to highlight this and say, yeah, I respect the man, and yeah, it's fair use cited. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fair use cited because, and I don't want to get nothing misconstrued. I want y'all to hear this from his mouth, and I want a conversation. This is not me just cooking nobody. I want a conversation about this. Let me know if I'm tripping. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So criticism, research, and news reporting is what we're going to be doing. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair. That's all we want to do. We want to tip the conversation in the balance of fair. Hope that's fair. So let me just, I put the link in there if y'all want to see it. And I'm driving traffic over there, whatever little traffic. This is the 300. You know what I'm saying? This is the 300. So we ain't aiming to be popular and all that, but like we got some soldiers. So with the little people I have, I'm driving. I'm saying, listen, go listen to what he's saying if you want to qualify. And that's something that AC has said we should do, you know, whenever we go over something so that people can't deny and get all emotional. They'll actually have the link to the original source so they can go see it and listen. So not be skewed by what we're saying. This is what I'm saying. So now I got it queued up. Let's see here. You don't want to start off at the beginning, man. Okay, I got it, y'all. I have it. Let me do something. Let me do one thing here. All right, here we go.
Tim does know Brad. You already know the rest. Look, man, what's all this talk about? Devin Haney ducking. Like y'all gotta be out your damn mind, man, for real. If y'all don't know damn Debo Dev by now, man, y'all tripping, man, for real. Seriously, look. Remember back after the fight, Dev fought Norman Jr. Who did he call out? What did he call out? He called out this man that he trying to make a fight with. This man that actually sent a contract over and was like, hey, we interested in this damn fight. Dev already said he got a hit list. He said he got a hit.
Okay, so he's creeping into this hit list, right? And he's talking about Dev and Rolly. And it is true that after the fight, it is true that they said Rolly. However, what needs to be on record, and I always say somebody stop me when I'm lying, is after Rolly beat Ryan, he celebrated Rolly. And I was the one saying, man, that's kind of weird, man. You celebrating a little bit too hard. But we have history. Like when Kambosos beat T.O., we had history. As if he did it. So there's a pattern. He done it before. The only thing is, when Rolly beat Ryan, they had an interview with Mar Charlo. And Mar Charlo told him what he should do next. So they were talking about what he should be his next move. Jamal Charlo told Rolly, hey man, go ahead and go for Dev. That'll set your trajectory like what Dev doing. Like, man, right now, go ahead and do that. Bill, the whole D-Hive, everybody went ham, man. It was just like, man, they was talking about how Maul was a drunk, and you know what they be saying. They be using the RETARDED word when it comes to Rolly. I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? I apologize before when I lose. I don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay. And Rolly has matured. But they act like it was insane in the membrane. That's before Devin fought Brian Norman, y'all. I'll be trying to tell y'all that all these things, This the same thing as if this the same thing is when the Virgil Ortiz and Boots thing. It's like people want to fast forward to Boots getting in the ring, but they don't want to rewind to where it was a turkey bag and it just now came out. Exactly what we were saying. It was like 3 times the payday and all this, and the fight wasn't going to happen and all that. But like the turkey bag was going to be 3 times the bag reportedly. And Boots and them said no. They just want to fast forward to Boots getting in the ring. It's like, okay, we appreciate the current move, but that don't deny the facts before that move. So it don't deny that Rolly was like, it was talks about Rolly and Devin before he even fought. Like Devin could have went for Rolly before he fought Norman. But we be forgetting these things.
Hit list. Garcia is on the hit list. Keyshawn, he said, is on the hit list. Everybody on the hit list. But after his fight with Norman Jr., and think about this, this dude Dev, man. I'm trying to explain this to you guys, man. He saw the biggest and the baddest dude at 147 pounds. Could have Dev went and gave an offer to Barrios? He saw the biggest and baddest dude, and he said, oh yeah, I want him, right? After coming off of 2 shitty performances, not one, but 2 shitty performances. That Ramirez performance was oh my goodness. And the one before that, of course, we know what happened, you know, all the allegations and all that bullshit, but yeah, it wasn't a great performance, you know? But then he fights Norman Jr., who is the boogeyman at 147 pounds, remember?
Find me a video of Timothy Bradley referring to Brian Norman as a boogeyman. Find me a video of Timothy Bradley calling Brian Norman Jr. the biggest and baddest man at 147 and being the boogeyman. So that's going to so don't go look at none of the breakdowns when Boots was still there before he just arbitrarily just jumped up to 54 and said, okay, I've been sucking down. Let me just jump up arbitrarily midway through getting undisputed. 2 belts in pocket plus the ring. Don't bring up none of them videos when it was talks about Boots and Brian Norman Jr. And when you look at it, even when he went on to get knockout of the year, but think about it. The first reaction Tim Bradley had was inferring that man was juicing. I got it on wax. But let's play Monday Morning Quarterback. Let's play Monday Morning Quarterback.
Remember that shit? Don't forget that. Power punching, knocking people out, putting motherfuckers in coma.
Listen, the legitimacy of this is the beef that Brian Norman Sr. had with Tim Bradley. Why? Because the way Tim Bradley used to talk about Brian Norman. So find me a video with Tim Bradley was calling Brian Norman the boogeyman before Devin beat him. I can't make this up.
Dev stepped in the ring with him, iced his ass, right? So now that Ryan Garcia finally got his shit together, because this fight was supposed to happen a long time ago, because Ryan Garcia, he lost to fucking Rolly Romero. Now Dev is about to get ready to fight Rolly, a guy who Ryan Garcia lost to. But the crazy part to me is that when Ryan Garcia lost to him, man, the funny thing is how everybody is so empathetic towards Ryan. Oh, Ryan, it's okay, man. You'll be back, all this shit. Yeah. Now everybody trying to call Dev a duck. Ryan ducked. He didn't want to fight Dev back then. If he did, he would have won that damn fight. If he did, he would have won that damn fight with Rolly Romero because he was supposed to win that fight. He was a heavy-ass favorite in that fight.
I do agree. There is a notion that nobody really, it was a few people. I heard a real good boxing analyst, he be calling into another channel, always spot on his analysis. He about the only one that said Rolly was going to do that I heard prior to, that was standing firm and had been saying for months that Rolly was going to do that to Ryan. He the only one. Everybody else thought that Ryan was going to blast Rolly. You know what I'm saying? Rolly had been working with Joseph Brown. He been, you know what I'm saying, new up and coming 154 guy. Man, like lots of potential. He had been working, and like, yeah, you can see new trainer, somebody else in this corner. It wasn't Bullet, because Bullet wasn't the guy. I agree with Tim on that one. See, I give credit where it's due. I agree. You know what I'm saying? Ryan was supposed to beat Rolly. Yes, he was.
But he didn't. Because he didn't want to fight Dev. He didn't want to fight Dev then. But ain't nobody talking about that. They just say, oh, he had an off night. You know, his soul was tampered with and all this bullshit. You know, making excuses for others, but then y'all want to just talk about Dev. Listen. I ain't been the biggest Dev supporter. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know.
Okay, so what's the change? Like,
Dev made me a damn believer. He made me a damn believer. That's what it is. So I just think it's funny, man. And what's the word I'm looking for? The hypocrisy. Yes.
remember that word hypocrisy, y'all. Because we listening to it right now. You accuse Brian Norman of juicing. And then after Devin beat him, you say he was the biggest, baddest man in the division, and he was the boogeyman, bro. Stop it, bro.
The hypocrisy. It's different for every fucking body in this game. Yeah, it's different. Talking about he ducking. Ducking who? Garcia? He ain't ducking no damn Garcia. All this is a power play. See, look, he beat Rolly ass. He got 2 straps.
So we gotta classify it. So that is a form. It's a strategic. But they don't want to break it down like that. So you would say, okay, if you advocating, it's still in the duck family. It's called a strategic duck. That's what it's called. That's what we call it. If you're gonna do that. Even though this not a whole, let me get everything on my side of the street and all that stuff that y'all used to roast Earl for. It ain't one of them. Because it's with a PBC guy all of a sudden. When there's all these rumors of all these things happening. And that's you started off with Showtime and them, like when you went all around the world and couldn't find my baby just to come back now and to fight Rolly. Come on, man.
You know, the Haney's, they businessmen. They not finna be manhandled in the business for Ryan Garcia because he got a whole lot of, he a popular fighter. That's it. He got what you call them fucking fans? He got TikTok and shit fans or whatever you call them people.
But these the same people that are scream and yell and turn blue in their face, talk about Tank gotta rematch Lamont Roach. But Devin, there's no urgency for Devin to try to get back to try to do nothing. Like all that energy, but it be different stroke. Remember that word he said, hypocrisy. Remember that.
That's it. But when it comes to this game, he just won a damn world championship after 10 years. He ain't done nothing. Whereas Dev has been putting in work. 3-division world champion. Undisputed. Traveled over to freaking Australia. You know, not once but twice. Took short money too for that. And y'all saying, oh, because y'all looking at Cambosis, how he is right now. Oh, well, Cambosis, he ain't that good. Cambosis beat Teofimo Lopez. He was the first one to beat Teofimo Lopez. Yeah, don't forget that. Oh, yeah, and he was...
Okay, so with all the hyperbole about Shakur beating Teofimo Lopez, don't forget, somebody at the level of Cambosis had already did it. Hypocrisy.
Get ready to fight Lomachenko, and guess who stepped in? Devin the Dream King. He went to his hometown and fought him twice. What a respect that? What we talking about? What a respect that?
But Devin do deserve credit for the accolades, because when you're talking about the accolade games, you got to be true to the accolades he was able to achieve. You got to You gotta appreciate it. But remember, all undisputed is not created equal. This is not undisputed where you went by and picked them up one by one. However, you were able to do it. Some people don't care. You can have one fight and get it. You know what I'm saying? Or yeah, one fight. Only fighter in boxing history to fight one time and get undisputed. That's Devin. The second time he went to defend it, but he had one fight to get undisputed. No, it's probably never going to be done again. Well, yeah. Well, Bud did it. He jumped up. Yeah, Bud jumped up and did it. But like all this undisputed is not created equal. Because even when you get undisputed, if you don't go by or clear out or semi-clear out or pick up straps, it's like how about? I mean, it's valuable because you was able to do it, and that's more political than anything. Getting the opportunity, but actually going by, having to go through it and pick up strap by, like the way Earl did it. The way Jermell Charlo did it, where Earl got up to 3 and then ran into Bud, yeah.
This dude ain't ducking no damn smoke. He just not gonna get manhandled in the damn negotiations with no damn Garcia. Ain't nobody gonna force him into that fight. Ain't nobody gonna force him into that fight unless, hey, the terms gotta be right. And you already know they been. Ryan Garcia screaming he the A side, yeah, he the A side, instead of coming to the table with a level head and saying, hey man, how can we make this work? How can we make, because if Ryan really wanted this damn fight, that's what he would do. He wouldn't be screaming out loud, I'm the A side, I'm the A side. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Just because you just got a strap.
So now A side, like all that, so you should remember that word, hypocrisy. And when I said the business of boxing dictates hypocrisy. You gotta think, Ryan came off a suspension and made more than everybody on that card. Who was the finale of that card? Who was on who's undercard? So now the business of boxing don't dictate it, and now it's like when you the A side, the same way Earl, like Earl, you shouldn't be talking all that A side. Yeah, we know you got 3 straps. Yeah, we know you got the stadium down there in Jerry World. Yeah, we know you the household name. Yeah, we know you the former Olympian. Like, yeah, we know, but like bump all that, man. Let's just make the fight. Let them hit you over the coals. And guess what? Earl did it to the pleasure of his fans, but to his own detriment. Earl did it. That's why Earl would never lose respect. But Earl didn't have to do that. So it's weird how when people are the A side, like when Tank, they want him to forego and no, he should do this and do that. It's like, man, if y'all were ever truly the A side, y'all wouldn't be talking like that. And it's not something we should really be able to argue. I think the business dictates that. It's not what we say and who says what. It's how much they getting paid, how much butts they can put in the seats, like who the people are gonna come out and see, like all this overcompensated wages and all that, and you get what you can negotiate or whatever. So if you get it, that is your worth. But like we know that some of that's inflated for like the business side. The business don't cover all of that. There's always a deficit. It's a hole in the bottom of the ship.
Bro, don't think you big and bad. You ain't big and bad, bro. For real. That's one. That's it. Yeah, you got more to prove, homie. You got more to prove. Yeah. So y'all can miss me with this whole ducking shit, man. You can miss me with that. For real. You know, Dev out here chasing greatness. That's what Dev is chasing. He chasing straps. The belts mean something to Devin Haney. Yeah.
So he chasing the straps, but I just did I did somewhat of the same thing with Tim when he was basically saying that Devin has to fight Keyshawn. If my memory serves, does Keyshawn have a strap? And yeah, I was saying A-side problem because Devin was in the middle of Keyshawn and Xander. That's what the talks were. And Tim Brady just literally, remember the word hypocrisy, he just literally, within the last week, 2 weeks, just did a video about how Devin had to fight Keyshawn. And we can miss him with this ducking stuff. So now it's no Xander, which is really daring to be great. It would have been, if it was Keyshawn, then what happened with that? He was even talking about how Keyshawn was like Craig, went back to the block and everything, calling out Debo, clowning. You see what I say when I say you got to get in character? And I'm not understanding why Hall of Famer got to do all of this. Talk about missing me with some ducking. Like, missing me with the flip-flopping. I don't know why you feel like you got to pledge allegiance to them. I don't know. Because you think maybe they've been successful in their business maneuvers and you want to stay on their good side. I don't know. All we got to do is just really speak the truth. Ryan would be the A side. It's a sad truth, even though Devin is accoladed up. It happened, and we've seen this movie before, y'all.
Means something to him. He trying to get Xander Zayas into the ring, even trying to go up a 4th weight class and testing himself against Xander Zayas, who's a tremendous fighter, who's a tremendous damn boxer, who's bigger than Devin Haney, way bigger, standing at like 6 foot, and Dev is like, hey. Let me get that. I see something I can get. I can get with you. My skills against yours, I can get with you. So look, down that Rolly Romero.
Okay, so what happened with the Xander thing? What happened with the Xander thing? This is what I've been talking about, getting the benefit of the doubt this whole time. Just think about it, 4 months. I just brought up the Virgin and Boots when we talk about benefit of the doubt. We've been on pause for 4 months. There for the November, and yeah, it might be Rolly, but what happened with the Xander thing? How he get the benefit of the doubt of using the Linguini method? Him and Keyshawn, they all doing it. All these people that's being linked to a different name every day, that's the Linguini method. They throw out as many names, see which one stick, and they try to make the fight land and say, I told you what I said I was going to do. Yeah, if you tell me you're going to fight everybody in every other division, yeah, you're going to be right.
Nobody was talking about his scary ass not wanting to fight freaking Devin Haney, making all these damn excuses. Nobody was calling him a duck like they trying to call Dev a duck. Yeah, man, nah. What's right is right, man.
How much they paying you? Well, never mind. That's not none of my business. It's not none of my business. My bad.
And that's just what it is. What's right is right. You know? So, look, I'm calling it like I see it right now, man, for real. You already know how y'all already know. This is real talk. This is real talk, man. You know, Dev earned my respect. I don't understand how Dev ain't earned y'all damn respect. What more this?
To a certain extent, he has earned respect. He has bounced back. The Brian Norman thing was a huge leap, but you doing too much. You compromising yourself. Like the title of this one was gonna be just like T.O. because believe it or not, T.O.'s compromised. Severe trust issues with T.O. I'm not sure if he can ever gain my trust. You got to go in there and spark Brian Norman or some shit like that. Or some other killer, Tiger Johnson or somebody that can throw, a Rohan Polanco, somebody.
He got to prove to anybody and everybody. You know? What more does he have to prove? He's proving himself over and over and over again. Shit. And so when that Ryan Garcia fight do happen, it's gonna be right for him. It's gonna be right for him. It's gonna be right for his damn team. He ain't gotta rush into that. No.
See how everything got to be right for Dev. Everything got to be right for Shakur, right for Dev. He pick and choose. If it'd be different if he didn't pick and choose. Now they all accoladed up, but he picks and chooses his favorites, and that's that I don't like. That's why I say, man, the video could have been compromised because I don't know if he's trying to land a gig. I don't know. Tim could get all the bread he want. I'm thinking he got access to all the bread he want. He doing what he want. I don't know why he's choosing to be like this right now.
And look, Mr. Haney, yeah, you said you gonna get it. You said you was gonna give it to Keyshawn. You did say that, you know, but you didn't say when. You said, hey, I'ma honor that, but you didn't say when. However, I understand the play. Keyshawn is a bad boy.
You see how they make excuses? He said all this excuses for somebody else, Rolly. When Marcello told him after he beat Ryan, before Devin beat Brian Norman to go get Dev, and they shat on Rolly and Marcello for that. Y'all see how they pick and choose who making the excuse. So now you saying, oh yeah, but okay, all right then, yeah. I said I'm gonna fight you, but I ain't say when. Like where? Like when? Like Kell Brook and Amir Khan, like that type win? Like just so because he didn't say when. I'm gonna honor that, but like you didn't say when. Like come on, Tim.
Well, I understand the play. You know, if Keyshawn can get a strap at 47 or something like that, I get it. Then y'all go after him. I get it. So I understand the damn play. And you know what you see in Keyshawn, damn Davis. You know what you see. And you can't deny that shit. You know? So, look. After Dev, if this Rolly Romero fight go through, after Dev handle his damn business, like I think he will, you know, ain't nothing for damn sure, people. Ain't nothing for sure. But when I look at style versus style, when I look at skill versus skill, Dev got more skills. This is it. Who the hell has Rolly beat on the level of Dev? Who the hell has he beat on the level of Dev?
Like, I mean, that's kind of like a trick question because I can't unsee what Ryan did to Devin. And we all know that people have their number. What if Rolly always got Ryan number, Ryan always got Devin number, and we getting ready to figure out who between Rolly and Devin, who got who number? But if you say who has Rolly beat on the level of Devin, well, Rolly beat Ryan. Made him put his hands in his pockets and drop him. Ryan smacked the shit out of Devin. We can't unsee it.
Can't beat nobody on the level of Dev. And anybody that got fleet feet that can move on his ass.
And plus, they have fought 6 times in the amateurs. It was 3-3. In the pros, Ryan smacked Dev. That was game 7. There has to be a game 8 to figure out what. But to say who has he beat on Devin's level just because of the rut, like who? Come on now. Come on now.
He has a hard time with. He has a hard time with, man. So that's just it. Anyways, look, that's my thoughts about this whole ducking bullshit that's going on, man. You know, Dev ain't ducking no. Man, they're one of the only trill ones.
Dev gained some respect after the Brian Norman, but I think Tim be overdoing it, man. He made a lot of like questionable moves, and at the end of the day, if you can explain it, you can explain how Dev is strategically ducking somebody and because of belts, and you can explain the same way he just discounted the resume. When Ryan beat Mario Barrios, but for the last 2 years, every other name that Devin and them mentioned was a Mario Barrios. That's what they originally wanted. They was going to originally go up and get a Mario Barrios. What happened? Mario Barrios happened to get a Manny Pacquiao fight. But I'm saying that I don't, it's seeming like people don't, I don't know if y'all want to answer the questions. If y'all want to listen to this on the playback, talk to me. Holler at me. I'll talk back. We've heard some things. We've heard this man's recent statements and what he got going on, and so we supposed to have all this trust that he gonna come back, and they putting him all up in graphics with Ryan and everybody else at 47 as if he's already there. He's getting the benefit of the doubt when he showed up against Shakur and did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Compromise, man. Then he talking about he took a dive. Man, boxing, man. This man is compromised. Like I don't know what he want, man. He want the clout, the attention. I just had to break it down. And these are things that I don't understand. If somebody would pull my coattail and explain it to me. It's not about his opinion that nobody like that Dev ain't ducking nobody. I'm talking about the things that he said within that video. The word that he used, hypocrisy. And in the same breath, at the end, try to turn around and say and insinuate that Dev is strategically ducking Rolly I mean, strategically ducking Ryan, and by way of what he just said, he's really insinuating that Keyshawn, he ducking Keyshawn. He just did a video the other day to say it, so I don't get it. These are the people that we look up to in the boxing. These are the people that got the credentials. The people that come in, we supposed to yell Eddie's when they come in and shut the fuck up, like we don't see and watch the trends in boxing when they enter the room. It's like, nah, man. If we're gonna call BS, we gotta call it on all different sides and angles. But I told y'all, man, I wasn't gonna leave y'all without a dope show to step to when it comes to this boxing talk. I didn't sit out the alerts and everything. I was just saying, like, listen, man, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna keep pumping it out, even though it's a lot of people, ironically, that was like on in the same time slot. You know what I'm saying? It's the 9:15 time slot, man, or from 9 to whatever. That's getting real popular, man, all of a sudden. Kind of weird. But let me know, man. This is Fruits and Veggies, not that Reggie. That fact-based content, not opinion-based. Let me know. Am I way off? I always say stop me when I'm lying. Chime in. I say talk to me, holler at me. I'll talk back. Where was I off? And I'm not saying Devin hasn't earned no respect. I'm specifically talking about the things that Tim Bradley said in that video. Not the perspective of who's Devin's ducking. I'm talking about the mindset and the things that he's saying and why are we taking these stances. Obviously, there is a bias. What happened? Did Bill cut a check? These are a few things that just be on my mind when I hear things. You know what I'm saying? We got a nice, robust live coming tomorrow, man, when we talk about, you know, everything that we've been trying to put together to like map out and see what's really going on. So we're gonna probably answer a lot of questions and come to a lot of conclusions tomorrow when we break down the content. I just had to be consistent because when I be wanting to walk away from boxing, I gotta always find ways to like keep it intertwined and really study it so I can appreciate it more. And I do appreciate it. I'm appreciating the business side. I'm appreciating the fact that I'm starting to like really not get too aroused when it comes to seeing these big fights and being all like about it, because the business, man, is crucial. And it's looking more and more like WWE, WWF. It's a script. There are key players. There are salesmen. There are people that's advertising and advocating. There's people that's in pocket, bought and paid for. People that's selling out. People that's up here like, pick me. I want to be seen. I want to be heard. I want a big bag, even though I always had big money bags. I always say, let me put something on your mind, man. Just take what I'm saying and hold it up to the light. Put it under scrutiny. I gave him all the respect for being a Hall of Famer. I just don't understand these things. I don't even want to do one on Andre Ward because it's just like, no, I'm just going to appreciate Andre Ward when he talked to people like Roy about things that Roy did in his area. Anybody that he's in the Friends and Family Network, I don't count that. You know what I'm saying? Some of the pieces, I am going to watch that one about the McClellans or whatever, because that's G-Man. I was talking about him about a month and a half ago, man. You know, I bet you that's going to be a bomb piece, because when it's not part of the Friends and Family Network, those pieces be excellent. But I mean, it's a lot of hypocrisy with that man too. But these are the people that we're looking up to. Some of these people got to hang them up before we actually get to here. I think Sean Porter, I'm about 65%. I'll be rocking with 65, but then I see right before big fights, they kind of play the game in a sense. It's kind of weird, but like it seems like Sean Porter's been getting a little bit better. Like he's getting, well, not a little bit better. He's been getting a lot better, and I appreciate what he's saying, because I know that a lot of that is like not agenda driven. And you know, I respect him since he was in there. But these are the things we're looking at when we listen to these former like boxers, the ones who used to lace them up, and they get out here and say things, and we really question it. Pat's Nation, salute. That's funny. But yeah, I wanted to put something on your mind, put something in your rucksack so you can march on with. And I said I wasn't gonna leave y'all without a dope boxing podcast to step to, and I'm gonna do that, man. I'm gonna dig in, but we'll be coming back tomorrow. Support the channel. I did a piece yesterday, you know, talking about Tank and the void that he left, and how nobody can quite feel it. And I think that's some of the reason why we're getting a lot of this weird stuff that's going on, because there's some major players. It's not just Tank. He's probably the biggest major player that is impacting the game right now. But there are a couple other fighters like the Charlos, Earl Spence. There are a couple people that need to come back and get active. You know, and boxing's going. It always takes on. Or every time, the times when they were active and in a rotation, the conversation around boxing was a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like, since they went dark and went silent, and you know, they don't have an Eddie Hearn or, you know, all these networks and all these like a Akin Barak. They don't have nobody advocating for them or their fighters. They only start advocating for saying that they're a threat once it might be a potential fight or something like that, and they start flip-flopping and microwaving the information and all that. It's a lot of politics. So as the PBC fighters come back, I think the boxing conversations are going to get better, because they've been getting real weird here. Like, a lot of people talking about a lot of different things that I'm like, I don't know how or what it's impacting boxing in some kind of way. But I'm like, man, I appreciate when we actually come together and we present some solutions. Or at least some stimulating conversation to get people to think that, oh, no, I'm not crazy. Like, yeah, you've been gaslighted. It's been a while since I went over the glossary. Pat's Nation, keep it up. I appreciate that. Thanks, Pat's Nation, for that $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Channel appreciate you. But I wanted to put something on your mind, man. Now, I think I did a good job, because normally I could really go in and all that, but I don't really think I went in. I think I just really was like being how everybody else is that's watching boxing and care about any sliver of the pie of this sport called boxing, where they're breaking it down and looking at it and saying, all right, cool, what is this telling me? What's going on? Like, and then giving an assessment. That's all I was really doing. Y'all remember how Ricky Ricardo used to say, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Like, I can't get Tim to explain none of this. All I can do is put a stake in the ground and tell y'all, hey, listen. He said, I've been here listening. Salute, Melazar. But yeah, all I can do is put a stake in the ground, put something on your mind and say, man, what did he be talking about? Is he for sale? Did he sell out? You know what I'm saying? I'm more towards the latter. I think that property been sold. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know. But I hope you appreciated what I brought to the table tonight, man. Fruits and veggie, not that Reggie. That fact-based content, not opinion-based, even though we have ours. Silence is consent is the mantra of the channel, meaning all it takes for evil to prevail is for men and women to remain silent. So we speak to the things that need to be spoken to in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, super chat, Cash App, hype the videos. Watch the videos, share the videos. Anyways, thanks for choosing Bodywork Boxing. But we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga, right? Oh, okay, you want to go to sleep. You tired.
Welcome to